Welcome students to the Classroom Management module. My name is Raisa Mohammed Raycliffe and I'll be your facilitator over the next couple of months to help you navigate this module. So as you can see, I've also added the word engagement and facilitation because ideally I would not use the word management, I would use engagement and facilitation. But of course, for the purposes of this module, it will remain classroom management. But we'll talk a little bit more about terms like engagement and facilitation as we progress through this course. I'm very excited to embark on this journey with you. A lot of what I will do is create videos for every unit so that I can really help you work through what I'm trying to have you focus on for that unit. There'll be a lot of reading as well, academic journals, website visits, etc. But you'll also have a video to help guide you through the process. Feel free to let me know if there's anything that is confusing for you, if you have any misconceptions or you feel that you have any misconceptions or any areas that you feel we need to go over a little more. I'm very open to hearing from you. These are the topics that you'll be focusing on over the duration of this module. We'll start with the academic and social success of learners. I'd like to start with some of the course objectives. You may have personal objectives for yourself in relation to this course, but the ones that I've identified and that I welcome you to add to are to encourage teachers to be reflective and reflexive. So what does this mean? Being reflective means we will reflect on or think about what we have done in our classroom, and whether we think it's worked or not. We can reflect on our relationships, we can reflect on the way we manage our students, we can reflect on our lesson plans, but it's basically looking at what we've done in an open and honest manner and really decide on whether they have been helpful to others or if they've hindered the process for yourself and for other people. Being reflexive is looking at what you've reflected on and actually making changes in your life. So you have reflected on the fact that your lesson plan seemed quite, let's use a term such as boring. It seemed quite boring and your learners didn't feel engaged or didn't seem engaged. You should be reflexive enough to change your lesson plans to make them more interactive and more engaging for your learners. Okay, we also would like to ensure that we understand what it is to be creative and innovative teachers to engage our learners in a real and meaningful manner. We will help you to understand your role in society and as well as link this to citizenship. What do you need to bring to society? What do you need to do to be an agent of social change within our communities? Because you're not just a teacher, you're also someone who impacts the lives of students outside of the classroom as well. We will look at empowerment, how we can push for reform in terms of lobbying to have changes within the educational landscape. It's an important part of being a teacher as well. It does extend a lot beyond the classroom, but it is something that you can choose to be part of. We want to be leaders in our field. We want to be transformational teachers. And of course, we want to be grounded, open, and honest, move to more learner-centered focus, and we want to think outside of the box. So what is classroom management? It's a term, we hear it, we think we know what it means, we're not too sure. So during this module, we'll look at what the literature says, what the Department of Education says. What do you hear about this term within your community, your educational or professional community? What do you feel it is and what is your experience at is? So sometimes what we feel something is and what our experience shows us that it is two different things. So we will look at this disparity and discuss it as we progress through this module. So, of course, there are a huge number of definitions for classroom management. You are welcome to read others, and I've added some here for you just to give you a starting point with which to springboard into this unit. But I feel that as we go through this module, you'll start to define classroom management for yourself in a way that makes sense to you. And if it makes sense to you, of course, it's more meaningful and you'll internalize it and you will develop a working definition of classroom management. Okay, so we're going to look at the theories who are important within this field. The reason we need to understand theories, oftentimes people ask, what are theories? Why do we need to focus on them? They just seem like a waste of time. No, theories underpin the work that we do. They provide the structure within which we understand different or various fields or topics or areas of interest. They tell us why we do what we do and how to do it better or how to improve or how to build upon what we are doing. We also look at how the importance of child development, and we look at the theories behind this, and we'll also look at the theories of learning. These are some, not all, of the theorists that we will be considering. They have various impacts and huge impacts on the field of education, the field of learning, and the field of psychology. Please make sure that you do some of your own research on these theorists and find out how they fit into the bigger picture of education. Part of classroom management is understanding your learners. We need to look at how to view our learners holistically and not just as intellectual beings that need to be performing in our classroom space, but we understand them within the various domains of development and as holistic human beings. We need to understand how they develop. We need to understand what their barriers to learning are, what their learning styles are, and what their behaviors are as well. These are important tenets of what makes up your learner and what is important for your learner. You cannot just look at them as little bodies in your classroom that need to do the work, need to do the assessment, and off they go home. But we need to understand them, because understanding children is going to help us in facilitating their learning journey. So to just pull on something we spoke about earlier, reflective teaching. Being a reflective teacher is being open to change, being open to hear from others, and being open to reflect for yourself, quite harshly sometimes. Asking yourself, what kind of teacher am I? What is my learning style? How do I relate to my students? Am I someone that they can go to and feel comfortable with? Or are they scared to engage me? Or are they scared to talk to me about issues that they feel are important to talk about? You need to be a teacher who is open to learning, open to change, open to growing, because that is what you expect of your learners. And if you expect something of your learners, you need to be able to model it for them as the teacher. We cannot expect our students to show us something that we don't show them ourselves. So encourage others to reflect for you, reflect for others, learn from mistakes. It is a risk. It is a risk to encourage reflection for yourself from others. But take a risk. If you make a mistake, it's okay. Mistakes do create safety in that you can say, you know what, I'm not perfect. I am in the process of learning, and others can feel the same as well, because they can see that you are open to making mistakes, you're open to learning, and this allows for growth. If you're in a situation where you feel like you can never make mistakes, it can be quite immobilizing. And students oftentimes feel this, that if they make a mistake, or children feel that if they make a mistake, if I broke a glass, I don't know if you've ever seen this, sometimes a child drops something and they just freeze because they want to see what is the reaction from people that are in the room with them. So that comes from fear, because they are scared of the reaction. So be sure you are not somebody that is instilling fear into your learners or to your colleagues. Be open to making mistakes, be open to learning, and be open to reflection as well. Okay, in terms of assessments, we'll be doing various assessments throughout this module. I've tried to make sure that we have a good mix so you don't get bored of doing the same thing over and over. So this is just some idea of what the assessments will be like. Your summative assessment that will happen at the end of your course, I will provide the rubric for you now so that you can start working on it as soon as possible. So by the time you have to submit at the end of the course, it isn't something you have to work on, very fast and furiously at the end, when you have lots of other work to submit as well. So I want to make this as easy and painless for you as possible. I know you have a lot going on. I want you to learn about classroom management at a good, comfortable pace and not feel like you're being rushed through it and feel like you just have to complete the task so that you can tick it off and move on. I want you to really internalize your learning. I want to read this to you because I know you can read it yourself, but I want to explain it to you. All assessments require insightful responses. They require reflection and the inclusion of personal experiences, thoughts, ideas, and opinions. So this is something that is huge for me. I really want to hear from you, not only about what academic journals or textbooks or leaders in the field are saying. I want to hear what you feel about the various topics as well. What are you reflecting on? How does it impact you? Can you think of experiences in your life where you felt the way the topic or the readings is referring to? Bring in your own ideas and your opinions. Of course, you need to bring in the referenced information from academic journals, but thereafter, I'd also like to hear from you what exactly you feel about the topic. This is how we start to develop an educated gut. If we are confronted situations in classes where there's no prescription on how we deal with it. We have to have an educated gut. We've been informed by theory, we've been informed by education, but we also have a internalized feeling and understanding of how to deal with various situations when they do come up, because obviously there's not a one size fits all approach to everything we do. So we're trying to develop an educated gut, and part of developing this educated gut is about reflecting and about considering what personal experiences have affected the way that you work and you experience life on a day-to-day basis. So we will have 3 contact sessions for this module. Those are 3 physical contact sessions, but for distance students or those of you who cannot make the contact sessions, you are more than welcome to contact me to set up a one-on-one meeting with me, either using Skype, Zoom, or WhatsApp if that suits you best. I'm also open to doing group contact sessions on these platforms, whatever suits you. Please don't feel like you're missing out on anything if you do not come to the contact session. It definitely is more interactive and I would love to meet you. But for those of you who can't, I will upload the outline or the lesson plan for the day on the Moodle platform, as well as make time to meet with you one-on-one or in a small group session. Some of the practical tools I'd like to work on, and we can also work on in our contact sessions, both the physical and the digital kind, will be icebreakers, grounding practices such as breathing, which is very important, facilitation skills, organization as a tool, seating arrangements. We'll do that in unit one of the units in which is about classroom organization. We'll also use group work to include all learners. How do we do this? We'll also focus on that. And then aiming to reach all learning styles in every lesson, which is a differentiated approach. We'll touch on all of these elements as we progress through the module. So this is not everything that classroom management touches on, but it is what you need to focus on when you're considering behavior and management within the classroom space or facilitation in the classroom space. This is something good for you to keep, to put on a wall, to keep in a file. Just good reminders in terms of perfecting your classroom management style. Everyone has a different style and you'll develop this as you become more comfortable in the classroom space. So this is just some insight into the source of information I use. I use YouTube videos to help guide my thinking, and I also use the platform to upload videos for you onto, because the Moodle platform does not allow YouTube videos to be uploaded as it's a bit too big. I'll also put the videos on the drive, so you are welcome to use that as well. I'll use textbooks. I will use reputable academic websites, journal articles, which is something you're going to see quite a lot of, video tutorials, and of course I use group discussions or discussions with peers and other professionals in the field to ensure that I provide you with a good module that includes all the important information that I feel you need as part of this journey. I'm excited to work with you. I'm excited to learn from you. I'm excited to learn with you. Please feel free to contact me. I'm happy to support you in any way that you need. Even if you want to talk through ideas, you want to ask me questions, you're welcome to do so. So let's begin our journey into classroom management. The first slideshow that you'll be viewing after this will give you a more in-depth idea of what classroom management is. It'll help you with the working definition. And from there on, as you progress through your units, I'm hoping that at the end, you will have a definition that is uniquely your own, but also encompasses various elements that we've spoken about. Good luck, and I will chat with you soon.